Fuck.
Oh, I thought a little bit more last night when I went to bed about the queen fucking grab stab or whatever.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I think I might use my whole action. You know, tell her the whole like, you know, cease and desist or cease to exist, but tell her, you know, look, I fully understand what it's like to have your entire tribe wiped out. Trust me, you don't want this.
Good one. Right. I can't believe there was paid weather. Name is fucking Grab Stab.
But her son's name is Face Shank, so
Fuck. Oh, I don't know. At least now we know. Fuck off.
yeah, I don't know what his shit is, dude. Talk about, well, don't count me in on part of this and don't count me. What the fuck are you talking about, dude?
I don't know. That's a Brian hang up. That's not a 2. I don't know what the fuck.
Fucking Nink starts doing that shit in our brigade game. We're gonna have fucking words.
Yep.
I don't know where I'm supposed to look, so I'll figure that shit out when the time comes, I guess.
Get your left monitor.
This way? Okay.
Same one.
Nope. It changes.
No. Incorrect. I am the one layouts and I haven't moved them, so don't yell at me.
That means that I need to put you here. Put you over here then. No.
30 seconds.
Right. Yep.
Gordie,
You big moose,
and Willhelm,
the grumpy gnome.
in the morning.
Well, hey there, I'm Gordie.
And I'm Willhelm.
And Will. Gordie Willhelm in the morning.
Where everything is scripted and we are super professional. We could try, right?
Well, I mean, the attempt is always there, but the execution is always. Yeah, say no, see.
Yeah. What's going on, buddy?
Oh, God. And didn't have time to make coffee, so I'm going to try to be here coherent.
I would try to manifest some of mine a couple thousand miles away and see if it works.
That would be, well, especially you don't do drip coffee. I'm old fashioned.
Well, I mean, I do a Keurig.
Well, still better than what I do. I just do old school fucking fill up the back, drip cloth, fucking put it in my veins.
Well, the only reason that we don't really use a regular coffee pot much anymore, we've got some super hard water here. And so you've got to like do the whole white vinegar, whatever, running it through your coffee pot like every 6 weeks to keep your coffee pot clean.
Oh.
And it just gets super annoying. So it's just easier to do a Keurig.
Yeah, okay, that's fair.
So, but I mean, don't get me wrong. I have like 4 or 5 different types of pods that I put through it. It's not just coffee.
Okay, that's fair.
Like on Friday nights when I use my big cup, I do like a pod of vanilla latte and a pod of chai latte. So it's like my little homemade vanilla chai latte. I mean, it works. So
the science over there.
Yeah. Yeah. Say I could teach you a thing or two. No, I'm just playing. Not
Burn.
Really.
So last night was interesting.
Yeah, last night was like super fun. You know, I mean, aside from the game itself, you know, I made the comment that people were opening up more and speaking more and talking, and I mean, it was just cutting jokes and making fun of people and just having fun. You know what I mean? So
yeah, the first half was just, it went by so quick because it was just utter ridiculous.
Yeah, absolutely. Made a new friend.
Told you all the monkey was real. I fucking told you.
Yeah, but that's the friend I ain't talking about because we still haven't made friends with it.
Well, no.
But I'm still not 100% sure of the other guy's name. Megatros, something.
Megatosis, malatosis.
Yeah, I don't know. I wrote down Megatros, but
Megatron.
Yeah, I know. I was trying to keep from saying that.
Fuck, now that that's in my head, I'm gonna say it. It's gonna piss him off.
Because that was one of the things that went through my head when he introduced himself or itself. You know, wait, Megatron? Like, can you shift into other things? But I was like, no, I'll leave it alone. I think my stank. Yeah, I think my stank face comment was bad enough.
That was.
So, but yeah, so we made friends with a little green fairy dragon, who decided to prank us quite a bit. And then we got to ask 3 questions. And then it took its leave, and I'm pretty sure we'll see it again, though.
Well, it's still following us because the monkey up again following night.
Yeah, but I don't know if they're like actually traveling together or if that was like a coincidental thing where the fairy dragon was coming through and happened to see the monkey. I don't know. I don't know. That's just an illusion?
Yeah. I'm assuming. I mean.
Well, so then if it's an illusion, how do you explain the tree screaming and bleeding when I shot it? Illusions don't bleed.
No, but we didn't see the monkey get shot. He said the arrow hit the tree, hear a scream, trickle of blood. When you went up there was no blood.
Right. So where did the blood come from? Who did we hit? What did we hit?
It was an illusion.
But illusions don't bleed because they're not real.
No, the blood itself was the illusion. Kept changing the illusion. Yeah. If he has, I'm assuming he has minor illusion.
Right.
That's why the monkey didn't talk. Because when you use minor illusion, you can only produce either a sound and image, but not both together. So.
Oh, well, then there was a mistake made, because that last night, when the monkey was in the tree staring at you, and you said, well, you might as well go ahead and come on down here, it screamed and hollered and ran off.
Okay, one, he's the DM. He can change it however he wants.
Or Ty's wrong.
Listen, I proved you all. I told you the monkey was fucking real and he was fucking with us, and we went through our packs and everything was everywhere. And told you, not crazy.
So, actually, if the monkey is an illusion, then it's not real. So you're still messed up in the head and you're still wrong.
Fuck, you got me there. Well, jungle madness is a real thing. Yeah, and I guess we can't really talk about the second half because that's...
Yeah, you're talking spoilers.
Yeah, so...
I mean, here's what we could say for Dawn and Stormbringer. You need to get past your stomach bug. You need to wake the hell up. And arm yourself. We'll just leave it at that.
Danger, Will Robinson, danger!
So, but yeah, that last night was a really fun game. So...
I was happy I took out 4 with one Frostfinger spell. That was cool.
Yeah. Yep. Yeah, here I am trying not to kill anything, and you just like come out from behind me, you're like, hey, Paninas, what's up?
Damn right. Revenge! Revenge!
Well, and like I said, I have the attempt I'm going to make when we get back into it. And I think for Pandinas, he'll make that one attempt, that last attempt, and if it doesn't work, it's game on.
Yeah, going down.
So, yeah, I mean, the scorpions will come out, and whatever happens, happens. So, I mean, I know you get experience for killing things, but do we get experience or the same experience if we manage to quell a situation?
Probably not. That's why we're murder hoboing the whole goddamn jungle. Kill them all. Screw it. I need better spells. I just want Rhymes Binding Ice. After that, I won't be so bloodthirsty.
Yeah.
I need that 30-foot cone. The 15-foot just ain't cutting it.
Well, I keep going back and forth on the few spells that I have. Which ones are any good? Obviously, I'll keep Hunter's Mark. I mean, I've got Favored Foe, which I can use twice, and it does a D4 instead of a D6, but it saves a spell slot. So, I mean, you figure when I have Hunter's Mark out, I'm rolling 1d8 and 2d6 every time I hit.
Yeah.
So, I mean, if I drop down to a D4, it wouldn't hurt that bad. I mean, I've been rolling pretty decent damage.
Oh, yeah. Well, especially with your Swarm.
Yeah. So, yeah.
Actually, I got a question for you.
Yeah.
Something I always notice with, especially half-casters or... Other than Paladin Smites, I notice a lot of half-casters are super conservative with their spell slots. But I gotta ask you, when you're playing Willie, and all our other casters are tapped, how many spell slots are you actually sitting on at the end of the fight?
I mean, it depends on the fight itself. It depends. It really is. I mean, it's battle dependent. So, like, at the end of the epic, I was actually pretty tapped.
Okay.
So, like I said, it depends. So, a lot of Wilhelm's spells, the stuff that I keep slotted, I mean, there's a couple support, but I mean, I have some slotted as like backups, I guess, but like I keep enlarge reduce slotted, and I keep vortex warp slotted. Like those are two spells that I always do everything I can. Well, I'm sorry, those two and Aura of Vitality. Those are the three spells that I always try and keep my spell slots for. Vortex Warp and Aura of Vitality being those ones that are, you know, if Ninx gets tapped, if Vernon gets tapped, you know, or is becoming tapped, then there's a way I can step in and try to help. Like I said, whether I'm warping somebody out of a situation or throwing up the aura to help people gain some healing. The enlarge reduce, it just depends on where Gordie and Willhelm are at. You know what I mean? Are they together? Are they separate? You know, whatever the case. And then,
pardon me.
I mean, I've got my cantrip, the blades, where if I get surrounded, you know, it's that quick. Okay, I need to do some damage. But I think with what Willhelm is equipped with, I'm definitely using spells less than I used to.
Yeah.
Because I'm equipped now with things that I'm too busy frontlining, and so I don't think about spells a whole lot.
That's true.
So,
well, it's just something I notice, like especially Ginto. Like he casts Hunter's Mark. Every once in a while, he'll cast Pass Without Grace.
But that's it.
But that's
and Goodberry. Yeah, he'll throw up Goodberry once in a while, but
once in a while, yeah.
But that's so. I think my take on that would be like I think half-casters. I mean, their jobs are split, right? They're either going to fight, or they're going to support. And I think a lot of it has to do with your party makeup, right? So when you look at the brigade, everybody in the brigade is so well at taking care of themselves, or you've got people like Ninx and Vernon that keep everybody alive. So myself as a half-caster, I don't have to worry about the party because they are being taken care of by other means. So that allows me to, again, save those spells for emergencies, and then just keep frontlining and tearing shit up. So I think party makeup has a big, and again, just my take, I think a party makeup has something to do with how often half-casters actually cast.
That's a really good point, yeah.
So,
no, it's just something I was thinking about, like especially, clutch machines, exactly.
yeah.
Also need to consider spells available. Yeah, actually, I had no idea you had access to Aura Vitality.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Like every bonus action, just heal.
Right. And it's one of those things too, right? So I've got Misfit, and of course I've got George. George has been reactivated.
Yeah.
So that's where, again, it's situational, right? Where do I use, I mean, and don't get me wrong, Willhelm is obviously going to help his friends.
Yeah.
So if I have to use a bonus action for the aura, I will, but I also get a lot better use using my bonus actions for Misfit and George. So I think that's, part of that balance where, yes, I have Aura of Vitality, but I also have other things that need my bonus actions. So, there's that balance there of trying to figure out what's the best thing. And if you notice, I actually don't use Misfit a lot anymore in combat as far as my bonus actions. He finds somebody. I mean, here lately, it's been a lot of Ninx, because Ninx is one of the squishiers that we have. So he just kind of hangs around Ninx and he uses his deflect attack. And that way I don't...
Well, which is perfect.
Yeah. And that way I don't have to worry about the bonus action. And then like with George, if I need to, I can send him out to whoever and cast Cure Wounds to him. So
No, I kind of like that though, having your constructs just ready. Like having Misfit and extending body to not target.
Right.
And then just having George just ready to... I forgot. And having George just waiting in the wings to like, oh crap, this down. Before I can't move. Get him, buddy.
Yep. And it's so, and with the homunculus, you can cast anything through your homunculus that's a touch spell. So I mean, I don't have inflict wounds, but for example, you know what I mean? I can send George over there and wrap his tentacles around somebody and just fill him with necrotic energy. But you know, so I mean, anything that's a touch spell you can cast through your homunculus servant. So it's, I mean, there's more than just cure wounds, you know. So that has an effect on the spells that I slot as well, because Willhelm is going to cast, which actually George could actually cast Enlarge Reduce, because that's a touch spell, right? So yeah, so considering that there's a nice little docking station available now, George could just, you know, float up and dock, and then boom. So because, you know, that's one of the things with Willhelm and Gordie is, if I'm not near you, then I have to take that time to get to you to cast Enlarge. Well, if you have George with you, you Giants might, and then I turn around and go, oh, hey, boom, and George docks or whatever, cast Enlarge Reduce. I still have to concentrate. That's still on me.
Yeah.
But it's cast through him while I'm 40, 50 feet away from you. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So yeah, so it Artificers are extremely fun to play, but depending on how you build them and how you play them, there's a lot that you have to think about.
Oh yeah, I don't think you could ever play two Artificers. Ever.
No.
There's
So, but speaking of playability and those things that we don't recognize, those things that we don't think about, those things that we don't see very often. I don't remember the term that you used, but
no, I don't either. But the shit that you don't see played in D&D.
Yeah, that's pretty much it.
Because I will die on this hill. Double-bladed scimitar. It is my all-time favorite weapon, fantasy period. You know, like everybody's seen it in Avengers Endgame.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, do I gotta worry about spoilers for?
You shouldn't have to, but
okay, caution: spoilers for Avengers Endgame. Tune off if you. The weapon that Thanos had, two-sided swords. You know,
yep.
There's a whole bunch of different iterations, but something with the staff with the two blades on the end, I think it's so cool, and you never see it.
Right.
Might have something to do with, like if you look at the Valinor elves double-bladed scimitar, it does have a note saying can only be used by an elf. Valinor, blah blah blah. But I mean, we talk about this a lot. It's DM discretion.
Right.
You know, like think of all the critical role spells from Wild Mountain. That all those have the same tag. You know, up to DM discretion, but usually no one bats an eye.
Right. But I think there's, and it is DM's discretion, but I think there's too many ways to be able to justify, you know, even if you have like a half elf, maybe there's Valinor in their ancestry, and they find this weapon, and you know, they, even if they learn the history of it, but then for some reason they're able to wield it. You know what I mean? And so I think that there's different ways to story-wise bring that kind of stuff in. So,
Absolutely. Sorry.
I mean, that's my. Go ahead.
Sorry, I just died there for a second.
Oh, I mean, it's what I try to do on Saturdays. Is if they come up with an idea, and I'm like, all right, cool, justify it.
Yeah.
I mean, if you can explain to me why it works, how it works, why you should have it, whatever the case may be, then yeah, absolutely. And then there's those ideas that are just so out there. Like I told you, right? My nephew, when he rages, I mean, if he knows that he's not going to be able to attack or get attacked within this round, he's going to lose his rage. So he'll turn around and bite his own tail just to create a point of damage and maintain his rage. It's so far out there. How can you not let that work? You know what I mean?
Attaboy, G.
So
he has learned the secret to barbarians. If you're gonna lose rage, punch yourself.
Yep. So I mean, yeah, it's but yeah. Anyway, so the double-bladed scimitar. We talked about subclasses too that we don't see.
You don't see
in the last.
Oh, sorry.
April, May, June. In the last 14 months that we've been playing, there's fighter subclasses that I've never seen. Isn't there a psychic knight, a psi knight, or whatever they're called?
Yep.
Never seen one played. But yeah, I mean, there's. I don't know. What are some of the subclasses that you feel like you quote unquote either have never seen or just never see played or used?
I was thinking about this, and I really like the Circle of Shepherd Druids. With those really cool totems that they put down that have a big it's a 30-foot radius. It's a big AoE effect. And I don't, correct me if I'm wrong, I don't think that the totems have like an AC or HP. Well, I think they're incorporeal, so you don't have to worry about them getting destroyed. But like, yeah, you just slap a totem down and it's like pumps out temp HP. There's a bunch of different features. They're also like a big summoner class, so I mean, yeah.
Yeah. So at second level, they call forth Nature of the Spirits. Bonus action, summon an incorporeal spirit to a point you can see within 60 feet. Creates an aura in a 30-foot radius. It counts as neither a creature nor an object, though it has the spectral appearance of the creature it represents. Bonus action, you can move it. It lasts for 1 minute or until you're incapacitated. And then the effect of the spirit's aura depends on the type of spirit you summon. So, with the bear spirit, each creature of your choice gains temporary hit points equal to 5 plus your druid level. They also gain advantage on strength checks and strength saving throws while in the aura.
That's huge.
Oh yeah, the hawk. When a creature makes an attack roll against a target in the spirit's aura, you can use your reaction to grant advantage to that attack roll. Also, your allies have advantage on perception checks while in the aura. And then the unicorn, your allies gain advantage on all ability checks made to detect creatures in the spirit's aura. In addition, if you cast a spell using a spell slot that restores hit points to any creature inside or outside the aura, each creature of your choice in the aura also regains hit points equal to your druid level. So, yeah, I mean, there's some good stuff in there.
Like, they're super cool. Like, thematically, they're great. They're mechanically, like, why do we not see these more?
Yeah.
Like, I want to make one. Like, fuck. Not to mention, I know later on, when you summons get buffed, so that's...
Yeah, 6th level, You get Mighty Summoner. So any beast or fae that summoned or created by the spell, they appear with more hit points than normal, and the damage from its natural weapons is considered magical for the purposes of overcoming immunity and resistance to non-magical attacks and damage.
That's fucking wild.
Yeah.
Well,
moving on.
Damn it. And yes, Arcana Cleric. Okay, I do have one minor hang up with the Arcana Cleric. If you look at the skill sets of it, and once again, this also comes down to party comp, right? Because if you have a wizard, why the roll an Arcana Cleric?
Right.
I feel it's dangerous. Not dangerous. Tricky to run a character that you need to have decently high stats and 2 mental stats. Because you need to kind of leave room for either con, dex, strength, depending on running. So, obviously your wisdom's fucking top stat. Then you want your intelligence decent because, like, you have advantage on Arcana checks. Well, you need in. So where does that leave you for your defenses, right? Like, you don't want to fucking +0 to con.
Right. Right.
I do have a minor hang up about the Arcana Cleric. Like, if you're in a party with no wizard, I'd say hell yeah. Because even if they only get, like, a +1 intelligence, with their proficiency bonus, you're still making those Arcana checks +4.
Well, but I think there's other ways around it too, right? So, I mean, if you wanted to take advantage, I suppose, of, what's legitimately available, go variant human, take a feat that's going to bolster those abilities that you're lacking on when you create, you know what I mean? When you either point by or whatever your abilities, if you go variant, then you have the ability to take that feat right up front that could help offset or bolster, whatever else is, you need to make that work. But I think you're right. I mean, it's because with the Arcana Cleric, you get 2 cantrips from you get the proficiency in Arcana, and you get 2 cantrips from the wizard spell list, and they're considered cleric cantrips for you. But if you have a wizard, I mean, so I think party comp is a big deal. I think you're absolutely right on that.
I mean, even if you have a sorcerer, still want someone for those investigation checks. There's a shit ton of skills and intelligence. Most parties, if you look at them, you're like, please, someone cover this here.
Yeah. Well, and what is it? Rogues and artificers are probably some of the better intelligence builds.
I would say so.
Yeah.
I mean, there is an argument for rogues to go wisdom rather than intelligence, but
isn't that for Arcane Trickster though?
No, Arcane Trickster's intelligence.
Is it? Okay.
No, just the argument being perception versus investigation checks, right? Like, it depends on your DM. Like, specifically spot traps.
Right.
Like, if you're going down a narrow hallway, what does your DM make you do? Perception or investigation? Yeah, most people would say investigation, but you might have that odd DM that would prefer a perception check. In an investigation check, once you spot something weird, to actually delve into it.
Right. Well, and I think it depends on what the player says, right? So the player says, like last night in our game, right? I actually made the comment that I am going to actively perceive our surroundings as we travel. So if you're talking about in a dungeon or whatever the case may be, this person, the rogue's going to scout ahead, and they simply say, I'm going to look for traps. So I think my question would be, are you just going to travel slowly and actively perceive to find anything out of place? Or are you going to go a square foot by a square foot and investigate as you go? You know what I mean? Like, to me, I think that would kind of determine what check the player would make. But I think the way you said it's not bad either, though. I mean, you make a perception check to see if they see anything out of place, and then, oh, yeah, you see this. Okay, well, now I'm going to go investigate it. But then you have to turn around and do another check to see if you can disarm it. So, yeah.
Oh yeah, I've heard of some DMs that they're so bloodthirsty with traps. Want to disarm a trap? There's 4 checks you got to make. Better roll high, otherwise that shit's going off in your face. I've heard of it.
Damn.
Not for a while, but take skill to get expertise. Yeah, that's another.
Yeah.
Expertise. Laughing. Wow, my mic is cutting out.
Yes, I said it was cutting out earlier.
Yeah, it is.
I mean,
the meter.
Oh, okay. I was gonna say, I mean, I've heard you just fine, but
I'm mumbling too. No. Seeing the room, investigation is figuring out who murdered on the tossed hotel room. Yeah. Well, and it all depends on the DM.
Yeah.
Some DMs prefer. And I mean, when it comes down to a player saying, I'd like to perceive, that's not so subtle context. Please, I want to make a perception check. Don't make me use investigation.
Yeah. Well, and you know what? I started off when I started DMing this Saturday game, I was, well, I mean, I hope my players didn't think I was just a dick, but like I think I was overly trying to, well, don't just tell me that, I want to do an insight check on them because they're lying. Because that's not RP, you know what I mean? Because you see so many people talk about, well, is so-and-so lying to me? Okay, do an insight check. So it's like this turnabout between the player and the DM, and I think, I'm pretty sure anyway, I went overboard with like, this is how you're supposed to do this. You're supposed to say this, and then I can say this. And now, like, it's whatever, dude. And if you want to do an insight check, tell me you want to do an insight check. Like, So, but, and I got to sit down between today and next Saturday and go over my materials. We haven't played in like 3 or 4 weeks.
Oh, God.
So, which, I mean, I'm running a module. So, I mean, all I got to do is just refresh my memory on what's going on. So,
yeah.
But,
are you still doing Moonshade?
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah. So they've completed. It's a 3-part module, a 3-module thing. Anyway, there's a part 1, 2, and 3, and they're each a kind of a different module. And so they completed the first one, and so they've just started on the second one. So
rooting for you, mismatched socks. Get her done.
We still need to talk about there's no way we can go back to what we talked about previously. Me, you, and Ninx running into them in water. There's no way to go back that far. But, okay, technically, there's no way to go back that far.
I was going to say, in the Mooseverse, anything is possible.
Yeah, right?
It's a land of magic and wonder.
But I mean, there's no telling how long we're going to spend in Mintarn either. So I think, we might have time to plan something and present it to Tyler before we get back from Mintarn. Mm-hmm. So
I'm so nervous for tomorrow. I have no idea what to expect.
Yeah. Welcome everybody to tonight's session of Moose Water Tales. Just to recap what happened last time. All right, let's get started. Everybody roll initiative. That's what's going to happen.
Oh, God.
Yes, Ninx, I did mention your name. It was something that Gordie and I talked about, and I will fill you in later.
Yeah.
Just because there's other ears listening that we don't want some information put out currently. Or something like that.
Yeah.
It's a secret. I'll tell you later.
God, we suck at subtlety.
Yeah, well,
Yeah, I'm worried. Oh, by the way, back to the other topic.
What tangent? Who does that? What?
I'm telling you, subtlety, not our thing. What's a subclass you haven't seen that you're like, hey, what? Well, I guess you mentioned the Cyanite, eh?
Yeah. There's a lot of clerics I haven't seen. I mean, there's a lot I haven't seen. Period. Just because, I just recently got back into the game 18 months ago. So, yeah, there's a lot I haven't seen, but I know I haven't seen. Of course, they're newer, but like the Drake Warden and the Ascendant Dragon Monk thing. But I think there's some Warlock ones that I've looked at that I haven't seen. I mean, you've got your common ones, I think.
X-Blades everywhere.
And I don't. The Undead or Undying. And the Great Old One, I don't think if I've seen them, I didn't know that's what.
I think Javin was Great Old One. I'm pretty sure he was a goo one.
Oh, you're right. He was. Yeah,
Okay.
He actually was. Yeah. Yep, because I remember hearing about that. I haven't seen it. Yeah, Clockwork Soul Sorcerer. I haven't seen.
Yeah, and that's a good one.
What else?
Well, and don't. I think when it comes to the Clockwork Soul and the Aberrant Mind, Aberrant. Why do I say that wrong all the time? Moving on. They actually give you spells that don't count as the ones you pick up, right?
Are you talking about like always prepared spells, or?
Yeah. They have a. You know how sometimes like for Battlesmith Artificer, right? Like they have a separate list of spells that's specific to them that count as always prepared, right?
Yeah, like shield is always prepared. It's always on my prepared list or whatever, but it doesn't count against the number of spells I can prepare.
Right. So
right.
I think those two sorcerer subclasses have spells that you just automatically get, and the biggest.
Right. So with the Aberrant Mind, their first level Aberrant Mind feature is psionic spells.
Yeah.
And it's first, third, fifth, seventh, ninth. They get extra spells that don't count against the number of spells that they know. So, for example, at first level, they get Arms of Adar, Dissonant Whispers, and Mind Sliver.
Yeah.
So, yeah, and they don't count against the number of spells that you know. So,
and that's really big when you think about it, because I mean the main drawback of the sorcerer is the very limited amount of spells they actually get.
Mm-hmm.
You had a fucking spell table of that shit. I'm surprised we haven't seen more.
Yep. And I think that's the difference. It could be the difference between the players too, right? So you have those people that create a character from their head, right? Like this is the character that I see, and they create that character based on what they've created in their head. So the extra spells or whatever, that's not a big issue. Like with Night, when Dr. Mom created Night, she knew the race that she wanted, and it was chosen for personal reasons. But the type of, so like she knew she wanted to be a magic user, so she looked at wizards, sorks, all that kind of stuff. And then the type of sorcerer that she chose, there's a whole backstory to it.
Yeah.
So it's not about how many spells can I get, so it's not about power gaming. You know what I mean? It's about the creation of that being. But then you have those players that are like, oh, I can get more spells if I do this. I can get more of this if I do that. And so I'm not going to call them power gamers, but I mean, they build for different reasons. Last week's conversation, I told you with Willhelm, I chose Rakdos Cultist just because I got more spells. There's no other reason. There's not. I mean, so
Yeah, that's true. Well, I still want to play just because one of my favorite characters in D&D was a psionicist. So eventually, I do want to play an Aberrant Mind because I think I have an idea for a backstory. I'm not going to say anything depending on when I'm going to bust this motherfucker out, but
yeah, when I first saw the Clockwork Soul, immediately my mind went to Artifice. And then I found out it was a whole subclass for sorcerer, and I was like, what? Like,
how dare you?
Willhelm has a Clockwork Soul. What's wrong with you?
Possible multi-class for Willhelm? Oh, looks at charisma. Fuck.
Yeah, right. Exactly.
Oh shit.
Yep. Yeah, there are some classes Willhelm just cannot multi-class into. Period.
Yeah. Well, technically, Gordie eventually. Well, he's already multi-class. I'm not going to do more than one.
Yeah.
But his wisdom is high enough. Gordie could become a cleric. I don't know why that. Just picturing that in my head. What is he? Who's the god of maple syrup? I pray to thee, god of poutine, bless us in this battle. His guiding bolt would be a giant poutine. Okay, I'm done.
I'm kind of interested to look a little more into the Church of the Okie Dokie. Actually, it'd be Okie Toot.
Okie Toot, yeah. Oh, shit.
I'm kind of interested to maybe delve a little deeper into the new Druid Circle with the UA giant stuff.
Oh, the Primeval?
Primal is, yeah, I think it's Primeval.
Dinosaurs.
And that's what, like, because I just pulled up the Druid stuff on Beyond, and it's not in the normal stuff, and I don't remember how to get to UA stuff.
Oh, you gotta Google it, and then you gotta download the PDF, and then you gotta blah, 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 blah.
Yeah. But yeah, I mean, just kind of interested to maybe try and build one out and see what it would look like, as it grew.
On my first reading, it didn't look that outstanding. Like, it looked like it scaled prettily, and not to bash Misfit, but it scaled similar to Misfit. But I don't know.
What are you talking about? Scaling similar to Misfit?
Yeah, with the proficiency bonus to attack. Although I do remember seeing the HP of the sucker was like 5 times your druid level or something like that.
Oh, really?
Yeah, so it could actually make a really good tank.
So, and that's what I'm saying, like, because I haven't looked into it at all. So you're talking about that Druid Circle gets like a pet familiar thing?
Yeah, it's all about summoning a dinosaur.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
So you could be Owen Grady and summon Blue. Now I want to play one, because I want to play Owen Grady and ride a motorcycle with raptors. Or ride a horse, because D&D.
Oh, thank you, Pat. Appreciate it. He sent me the PDF for the UA.
Such a nice boy. Yeah, because, 5 times druid level, that's not nothing. If I'm right, I'm pretty sure it's 5 times druid level.
I mean, basically, just every level you're going to gain 5. It's going to gain 5 more hit points.
Yeah.
So, and I don't remember. I don't remember how the Steel Defender's worded for its HP. I mean, he's got 50 something HP right now.
Well, and you're level 11, so it might be 5 times Artificer then.
So it's 5 times your Artificer level, plus your Intelligence modifier, plus 2.
Oh.
So that would put him at 55, 59, 61, actually. 61 hit points.
Damn.
So, yep.
I could give up Bobo for a dinosaur. Yeah. I mean, it's a dinosaur. I mean, it's no secret how much I love the Jurassic Park movies.
Yeah. Well, you just take Bobo and transition him from an owl to a miniature pterodactyl.
Oh my god, yes. No. Picture the scene, right? Okay? Your party's facing down some big, nasty meanie. Your little halfling cleric turns to you. We need more teeth. And your druid conjures a fucking T-Rex. Dead. Like, come on! This is why we play D&D, folks.
Yeah, right?
You're fucking lame. Calling dinosaurs lame, motherfucker.
Well, I don't know about lame. They are extinct, but...
Matt. Don't fucking start. Oh, God. Yeah, I fucking looking through that entire UA. I loved it all. I can't wait for it to get published. I hope it all gets published, because all of it, I love it. Well, even, like, the wizard, like, every time I make a wizard, with the exception to my newest one, Al, I always, I don't know if you ever played the Fire Emblem games, but when I was a kid, I played Fire Emblem, the Sacred Stones, a shit ton for the Game Boy. And there was always, when your mages hit wizard status, whenever they cast the spells, they always drew like a really elaborate, cool glyph depending on the element, and that's how they used to cast their spells. So when I was a kid, like that's how I picture an archmage, right? Like you draw a glyph in the air and manifests the magic. So I usually flavor my wizards that way.
Right.
Well, here is a wizard subclass that's all about runes.
Right.
So for me, like the flavor of it, I'm like, fuck yeah, give it to me.
Yeah. 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 Well, and if you want to talk about, yes, sir, I know you're correct. Crocodiles are the same way. Crocodiles, alligators. I thought about that after I said it.
Yeah, so now you're going to shit talk crocs and sharks now?
No, just orcas and moose. Anyway,
don't.
So if you're doing magic by creating glyphs, and wands are a thing in D&D, could you not take that new wizard and just create like a Harry Potter? Because they do their wand and make glyphs for their magic stuff.
Yeah, I guess you could. I mean, I'm not a big Harry Potter dude, but I'm not going to shit talk Harry Potter because my wife adores him, so.
Oh, yeah, no, look. Yeah, you shit talk Harry Potter, Shannon be on her way. So,
yeah.
I'm just saying.
Yeah, I can feel the red laser dot on the back of my head as we speak, so I'll leave it there. Fish dinos, they're a thing. Feathered. I know, technically, they're supposed to look like birds. I don't care. Jurassic Park dinos are the way to go. still remember. I if I could share a family story. When Jurassic Park first came out, Mom rented it from Blockbuster. Hey, call back.
Talking about things that are extinct.
Oh, that was good. I like that. Yeah, Mom rented the first Jurassic Park and brought it home, and she's like, "Oh, well, Ty fucking loves dinosaurs. She sat down with my dad and said, "Let's watch it. Make sure it's okay because they always back then." You rented a movie, but you didn't know if it was okay for the kids, right? So you usually watch it first, and check.
Right.
So she pops it in, and it gets to that whole scene when they're at the T-Rex paddock, and it gets out and it starts breaking shit and roaring in that.
Yeah.
So my mom said Dad was all curled up on the couch, freaking flinching. Like, you want to show this to the kids? All freaked out. He does not do horror at all, or anything.
Wow.
Yeah, he was freaked the hell out.
This is a guy who stood face to face 12 inches from a moose.
Yeah.
But he doesn't do horror.
No. Yeah. No, the hypocrisy of my father is outstanding. Like, this guy, trust me, there's stories. He's a badass. But he's watching Jurassic Park and freaking out, and then Mom showed it to me. She watched it. She's like, "Yeah, Ty, you could watch it."
Yeah.
And I'm sitting there giggling because I get to see a fucking T-Rex. Dad walks in the living room, looks at me, just shakes his head and walks away.
Well,
I guess it's getting close to that time.
Yeah. What you got planned for the rest of today?
Gotta do some running around, and then probably... You know what? I'm going to post in the Discord, try to get people to play Monster Hunter today. I want to play Monster Hunter.
Okay.
So if anybody's watching and you have Monster Hunter, make sure it's downloaded, because I'll mom guilt trip you into playing with me. Matt, download Monster Hunter.
Well, I mean, I've got some other things I need to do first, but...
Incorrect.
I mean, I could always bring up, there's the idea of, co-oping and murder hoboing Nazis, but whatever.
Ooh. Shooting Nazis or hunting giant monsters?
Oh, you'll go for monsters all day.
Usually.
Yep. So, the other day, before we go, I wanted to mention this to you. It was last night when Limp was talking about that recipe, whether or not you'd tried that recipe or not.
Mm-hmm.
Are you a bread person? Like dinner rolls and stuff?
Sure.
Well, no, I was just going to tell you about a recipe that I found. For their homemade dinner rolls.
Mm-hmm.
But they're Moroccan. They're not from here. And do you know how to make homemade dinner rolls?
I do not know how to make homemade dinner rolls.
Okay, well, the thing about, so Morocco, it's all about spices and stuff, right?
Mm-hmm.
So one of the things with this recipe anyway, is using thyme, which you can get thyme all ground up in a little spice bottle thing, or you can get fresh thyme, whatever, But from what the recipe says, you have to be careful about how old or outdated your spices are, because you don't want to end up with old time Moroccan rolls.
I can smell a setup from a mile away now. I'm on to you. I've been hurt before. God damn it, that was good though. Oh shit, old time and rock and roll. Attaboy. Okay. Thank you, everybody, for joining us. About oh my God, they're still talking about dinos.
Yeah.
Thank you for joining us for another episode of Gordie and Willhelm in the morning. And jingle.
Gordie
You big moose.
and Wilhelm
The grumpy gnome.
in the morning.